Good afternoon. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Yay! I thought I would take a second to do a video for you guys. I am in, I have to clean everything and it has to be perfect house mode today because we have birthday parties at our house tomorrow. I know you've all been there, so I'm scattered all over the place, but I wanted to take a second to talk to you for a second about disciplining your kids. And I don't know what you guys all do to discipline your kids. I would love to hear it. But we do something called Kingdom Families. And we've been to this conference. They did it at our church in Lubbock. And we've been to this conference, I think 3 or 4 times while we were there. And because it changes as the kids' age change. But I wanted to just give you a brief overview. You are able to buy the videos online and go through it. If you guys want more information, I'd love to talk to you about it. But basically, the point of Kingdom Families is disciplining the root issue and getting to the heart of the issue instead of just correcting the behavior or behavior modification. So, it's getting to the root. So I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis. So, one brother hits another brother. So what we tell them to do is we say, go to your room and wait for us. And they go to their room, and if it's something that, because as parents, we have tempers, we have anger, if it's something that you were upset about, you give it a little while and let it cool off, because you never want to go in and talk to your child angry. If it was just something little and you feel like you can go pretty quick, that's fine too. You do want to give them some time to think about what it is that they're in their room for. And you go in there, and if it was for hitting, you can pull up verses about what our hands are used for. So our hands are used to bless, to heal, to beckon, to praise, but our hands are not used for hitting. So that's what we talk to our children about. And so we'll go in there and we'll sit down with them and we'll say, hey, why did you hit your brother? And so if they say, because he took my toy and I was angry, well, then we need to talk about anger. We need to talk about why when you're angry it's not okay to hit. If they said, he was playing with somebody else and I didn't want him to. Oh, well, then now we need to talk about jealousy. So you kind of talk to your kid and see where the root is, and then you address that situation. So let's pretend like it was just out of anger. So we're going to say, oh, buddy, what are our hands used for? And they're going to say to bless, to heal, to beckon, because our kids have gone through this several times. So we'll say, that's right. That's what God has intended our hands for. And we do not hit with our hands. And so we've gotten to the root, we've gotten to the sin issue, and so they're going to pray, and they're going to ask Jesus for forgiveness, and they're going to say, I'm so sorry that I hit my brother, and I used my hands for something that you didn't intend them for. Would you please forgive me? And then they're going to go to that brother, and they're going to say, will you please forgive me? And it's not, we don't say, I'm sorry in our house. That's not good enough. So we say, will you please forgive me? That's asking someone to forgive you, and that person is responding. Forgiveness, so that you are asking for forgiveness, not just saying sorry, because we just like to say, will you please forgive me? And so then they have to go to that brother, and will you please forgive me? And then it's over. And we do spank at our house, and I'm not sorry about that. We've seen amazing results. We do it when you're calm and you're not angry. And we have a specific set of ways that we go about that, and I would love to talk to you more about that if you want that. And then we don't spank for everything. If it's a little sin, sometimes we may, have time out. Sometimes we may take something away, like video games, if they're fighting over the video games and that was what was causing, an issue, whatever it was. But we always try to get to the root and let the punishment match what they were doing. And so I did want to read one verse, because this is where a lot of our discipline and why we discipline the way we do comes from. It's from Proverbs 13:24 through 20. No, it's just 24. Proverbs 13:24. And it says, whoever spares the rod hates their children, but whoever loves their children is careful to discipline them. And I think that's important, because everyone's heard that, spare the rod, spoil the child. But that's not what that verse says. In several translations, every single one of them says, if you spare the rod, that you hate your child. And so what does that look like? That I think what that is meaning is, if we have a responsibility to discipline our kids, we have a responsibility to raise them up into mature adults who love the Lord and love others, and have all these tools in their belt to go out in the world and be the men or women that God created them to be. And that's a huge responsibility as parents. And He gives us an outline on how to do that and how to discipline our kids. So I would love some tips from you guys on how you discipline your kids, or some things that have worked for you, or studies that you've been to. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.